Hi, I'm Nikhil. Uh, and we really started learning about space apps when we first all participated a year ago. That was our first major hackathon, and it didn't go great, but we learned a lot, and we really saw space apps as an opportunity to like get into a higher level of tech and coding and see like how big of an opportunity this compared to other challenges. And that's my personal experience.
I first entered the NASA Space Apps Challenge 4 years ago, actually, or 3 years ago, and that was with some of my older friends from elementary school. And we like did a bunch of really simple projects back then, but it was really fun coming in person every year to NASA Space Apps and even online. It was really fun because it's organized really well, and the way they do it, it's like a really good process for organizing everything.
So my teammates actually introduced me to NASA Space Apps, and this was a way for me to actually solidify my coding skills and build something that has a real impact. So it may look intimidating at first, but as you keep working, it all smoothens out and it's pretty fun actually.
We all used to go to the same middle school last year in eighth grade. Yeah, same middle school all throughout. And we first started in seventh grade. And because we were all friends, we were friends normally as well, but we all saw that we had similar interests in tech and coding. So we decided to form a team and attend multiple hackathons. And NASA Space Apps was actually our first main one. We didn't only want to hone in our software skills. After looking through all the challenges, we saw that this challenge also included hardware. And because we wanted to broaden our experiences with software and hardware, we decided this could be a perfect addition to even learn a bit more on the hardware side of technology and not only software.
Yeah, we were definitely looking around something the intermediate to advanced level because we've already been to many hackathons. So we wanted to give ourselves a real challenge.
One really exciting thing about the challenge was that we were like using official NASA data to for our mathematical model and stuff, and it felt like um kind of a step up, like handling this official data and learning how to use different types of data files and even our software. We learned a ton of new things through this hackathon.
I think at first it was intimidating because this is a lot more official data than other things we've handled with. But I think we then realized that we just have to try it out, right? We can't just look at it and just see it's intimidating and just leave it alone. We actually started experimenting with it. And especially Arnav, he worked a lot with this data. We actually started experimenting with it and we found out to actually like break up the different parts and to work with them piece by piece. I think Arnav can elaborate a bit more.
The first challenge I ran into was when I was downloading the data sets. They were in like a file format I'd never seen before. It's netcdf, and I'd always worked with like CSVs and JSON and like kind of like really easy to handle data in Python. So that was a struggle, definitely kind of like learning how to interpret that data in the netcdf file format. And another thing was that the data we had was like it was originally like if you look at it on the surface, it's kind of hard to draw interpretations based on kind of like what you need to do or what you want. So one thing I learned was like we used two research papers that were linked in the resources to help us connect that data to the actual sharks and understand that data on a higher level.
Time is, I think, the most important for a hackathon. In the beginning, you might think like, oh, we have like 1 or like 2 days depending on hackathon. We have so much time. But as you go on, you'll see that there's problems that you didn't even know they were there while you're testing. So I think time management is one of the most key like factors to like perform well and also learn the best in a hackathon. Also, I think collaboration with other teams to see not only to get ideas, but also see how they're approaching problems to learn for yourself. And yeah, I think those are two important factors for me, and I think my teammates can elaborate more.
Yeah, another thing I would share is like don't be discouraged, especially if it's your first hackathon. It's like really hard starting out. You might think you know everything, but like there are a ton of like errors that'll come your way, ton of packages you didn't even know about. So don't be discouraged because every time you fail, it's just an opportunity for growth. And as Nikhil said, learning from other teams who present at these hackathons, looking at their projects, that'll help you in future hackathons to do even better and to grow and hone your coding skills. So really don't be discouraged by any errors that come your way. Just try to figure them out, grow over them. And even if you end up running out of time, what happens in a hackathon doesn't stay in a hackathon. You can always develop it and continue work on it after the hackathon. So really what you do in there is you learn a lot of new things and you challenge yourself so that you can grow outside.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing for me was to think big because the idea is the key part of a hackathon. So the more ambitiously you think, the better your project can turn out.
I brought a more hardware aspect. So right here, I actually have what we worked on. This is a mini computer. It's called a Raspberry Pi. This was actually the brains of our system that would compute all the data and figure out the location and stuff. And these are just some cooking tongs that we use to mimic the movement of a shark's mouth, which is what our project is based on. And this is a camera to take pictures of the actual prey. And this is an accelerometer, which we use to actually detect if the shark is eating or not. And so we wanted to make something conceptual, but we wanted to make it work, right? So I think I brought an approach where we wanted to make something not only that would just look like it worked, but actually worked, and would also. I also have a PC here that runs Linux that we it kind of mimics a buoy that are like all around the ocean that acts as like a center point that we can send all this data from multiple tags that then the scientists can retrieve. So then I think Arnav can bring the software side.
Yeah, so I focused on working a lot on the software. So this was because I have like a lot of experience previously with Matplotlib and Python in general and like kind of like yeah, interpreting some data even though the data format was like a new one as I mentioned before. So that's why I tried to like tackle this problem because I saw that a lot of the data was like map based and I know Matplotlib pretty well, and um, yeah, my experience in Python, I kind of use that to help me, to help guide me along the way, and also regarding the tag for detecting what prey we had, I also helped find two open source YOLO V8 object detection models that we could use since I also had some experience with training YOLO models. So yeah, I focused on the software side because I had some experience in that before the hackathon.
Yeah, I focus on
That's
the
incredible.
presentation. Oh, sorry. Were you saying something?
Oh, no, no, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I focus on the presentation aspect and making the slides. And I also just helped all around.
My dream job would me like starting my own company, maybe with the teammates we have right here, maybe taking some of the projects we made in hackathons to the next level, making something that we can share to the world. I think starting our like own independent company can not only broaden our aspects and connect with new people, but also would give each one of us our own like independence, you know? Yeah. So that's my personal dream.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say the exact same thing. One of my dreams is to like build a startup, maybe using what we built in the hackathon, maybe like growing from it and thinking about new ideas. But I just want to make something that can really bring a change in the world, whether that be through hardware, software, both. I'm like really interested in learning a ton of new things and addressing the problems we have in our everyday life, and that's yeah, that's my dream.
One of my dreams is to start my own biomedical startup because I'm really interested into science and I want to make tech that really helps people and has an impact.
Hackathons is, if not the best way, one of the best ways for you to practice your skills because it's more of a real world example building real world problems that you really don't get this type of experience anywhere else. And especially in NASA space apps, you get access to real professional data that's being collected. And I think it's just an experience that you don't get anywhere else, like I said. And hackathons really helps you with collaborating with more people, connecting with more people that you really just don't like see in your everyday life because these people have your similar interest, especially in hackathons where everyone knows and likes things that you like. Software, hardware, could be anything. So I think hackathons are like a really great place for you to learn, but also with connecting more people and creating more connections.
Yeah, and another thing is that hackathons, like they seem really long. Like, oh, I have to like devote a whole weekend to this, but every single second of a hackathon is genuinely worth it because what a hackathon does is under that time crunch of creating something within 24 or 48 hours, it kind of pressures you to come out of your comfort zone, to learn new things, to develop new ideas, challenge yourself, and also part of a hackathon deviates from that name. It's not just about software and coding, it's also about how you present yourself and how you talk with other people and how you write your ideas and your innovations and how you brainstorm what you do. So it kind of brings together everything about making a cohesive product from software to hardware to marketing it.
For me, the biggest thing would be to think ambitiously and to not get intimidated to try all the things you want to try, because the worst thing that can happen is you fail and you can just try again. And to really focus on the impact on helping other people.